Excellent, there we go, we are live. Good afternoon, everyone, or good day, I should just say, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Megan Collins. I am a student recruitment coordinator here at NSCC, though I shouldn't say here at NSCC because I am in my kitchen, which is not NSCC. But joining me for today's session, we have Kaylee and Pamela. Kaylee, you are a campus housing coordinator at the Strait area campus. Pam, you are the Student Services Advisor Indigenous Support at the Strait area campus. Hello, you two.
Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome.
Hello. Now, these two are going to pretty well run this session or provide most of the information for this session. But before I pass things on to them, I do want to do a land acknowledgement as well as some housekeeping pieces. So to acknowledge the land that our campuses are sitting on, I do want to, of course, acknowledge that we are in Mi'kmaq, the unceded territory and ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq Nation. Our relationship is based on a series of peace and friendship treaties between the Mi'kmaq Nation and the Crown dating back to 1725. In Nova Scotia, we recognize that we are all treaty people. Now, housekeeping pieces. So the webinar platform that we are using today, of course, is called GoToWebinar. So this may be a platform that you've used before. It might be new to you. And depending on how you are joining in, the tab that you see on your screen or the photo that you see on your screen, your little control panel is either going to be on the left or the right. We have automatically disabled everyone's microphones and cameras. So if you are multitasking right now, maybe you are tuning into your favorite Netflix show, maybe you are commuting, maybe you are at work or enjoying a little bit of lunch, you don't have to worry about that microphone accidentally turning on or your camera accidentally turning on. It's all been disabled. We do encourage you to ask questions. So there is a questions drop-down piece where you can type in your questions throughout the session. Oftentimes, questions may be a little bit more personal in nature or may require us to have more information about you or your specific situation or application. So if it is a question like that, please feel free to just send us an email to recruitment@nscc.ca. so that we can do a little bit more digging, ask for more information, get more information, and give you a well-rounded response. So again, questions, type them out throughout the session. I'll be in the background typing away, and then any questions I can relay to Pam and Kaylee throughout the whole thing. So this is where I am going to pass things on to our co-hosts, since they are the holders of everything Strait area campus and our on-campus housing, as well as just general housing information. The campus that we are referring to today, of course, is the Strait area campus, which is located in the gateway or on the gateway of Cape Breton Island, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous location. All right, you two, I'm going to pass it on to you two folks.
Unmuted. Hi, Kaylee. So can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. So what page do you want me to start? Slide 3?
Yes, the one that says NSCC Strait Area Campus with the lovely overview of the campus. Just missing the campus housing because the photo was taken just before housing was built.
Okay. So NSCC Strait Campus is located in Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. It's the gateway to Cape Breton Island. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes to Halifax. Our campus includes the Nautical Institute and the Wagmatcook Learning Center, Oceans Innovation Center, Wave Tank, Fire Training Center, and state-of-the-art simulators. The Nautical Institute, Transport Canada approved marine training. So all our programs that are in the Nautical Institute, all the exams are by Transport Canada. So here at Strait Campus, we have the Wave Tank, the free fall lifeboat, fire training center, state-of-the-art simulation equipment for navigation and engine room testing. So if you ever have an opportunity to come have a tour of our campus, the wave tank is very beautiful. It's one of our highlights. And we also have simulators. We have the heavy equipment operator simulator, and we also have marine. Also in Wagmatcook, which is about 15 minutes before Bedeck, we have the Wagmatcook Learning Center. This year we'll be offering carpentry and CCA. Our campus amenities: campus housing, academic, career, and personal counselors. We have library services and computer labs. We have a full service cafeteria, Saver 22, fitness room, sports and clubs, student association, and cultural space. So for those that are coming to NSCC in September, it's always a good experience to participate in the student association. It's a good learning experience, and you get to meet wonderful people. Our cultural space, this year we will have a space amenity located outside with 8 benches, 8-pointed star, and a propane fireplace. And this is for to honor the residential school survivors and the missing and murdered Indigenous women. We also have a campus elder. Her name is Judy Peters. She is absolutely wonderful. She does smudging and other events. So if there's something that you would like, if you're a Mi'kmaq, or even if you're not Mi'kmaq and you want to meet our elder, please do. She's a beautiful person. All right, Kaylee.
Yeah, so on campus, we do have our lovely new on-campus housing building. So we have primarily 3 bedrooms units. They're fully furnished with an extra long twin bed. So for those people that are slightly taller than others, your feet shouldn't dangle at the edge of the bed. A wardrobe. Our 3-bedroom units have 1.5 bathrooms. So it says 2 washrooms. One has a shower, toilet and sink, and the other one has the toilet and sink. We have all private bedrooms, so you get a fob to access your space. It's a key fob. You put it on your bedroom door, and you're the only one that can get into your bedroom door. And you have a shared common space with a flat screen TV and a shared culinary area with induction cooktops and a lovely fridge and convection microwave. So you have a full space to cook your own food and ability to just quickly walk to classes. As you can see in that photo, we are very close to the on-campus building with a short walk to the back entrance. Now, before I continue to talk a little bit more about the building, we have 1-bedroom suites available. However, they are in limited availability. So we do reserve 2 suites for accessibility. 2 fully barrier-free suites are available. And they have the private washroom in the same style culinary area as the 3-bedroom suites, just slightly smaller. So the utilities included are all of the utilities, internet, parking. It is air conditioned, which is a big perk for most folks. And the slide just has a slight error. We've just changed our declining balance meal card plan to $250. So $250 that you can use in the cafeteria. And that was based on feedback from students this year. So we do take an active approach in listening to students as we continue to develop our on-campus housing at Strait area campus. The meal plan, the declining balance meal plan, is not one that you can opt out on. However, we do provide some ability to opt out if you do have dietary restrictions that prevent you from eating in the cafeteria. So it is mandatory. Most folks can't opt out unless you have the dietary restrictions that require you to not that wouldn't allow you to eat. You can cook your own food. And part of campus housing, we have CAs, so community assistants, and those CAs plan activities and events for folks who live on campus. We encourage students who live on campus to also reach out to the Student Association because the Student Association also does more events, activities, and socials. We do have, so if you are requesting to live on campus, we unfortunately don't have family housing at our Strait area campus. So you can't come with a partner or your family, unfortunately, but we can assist you in finding off-campus housing through Places for Students. It's a very good website for off-campus housing. If you want to, let's say you and two friends from high school or from college or other university or just friends from your hometown want to live on campus together, you all indicate that on your housing application, and we can ensure that you can be roommates. The application is open now for on-campus housing. It's, if you go to Google and you type live on campus Strait area or NSCC campus housing, it should come up with our webpage, and the apply for housing is right there. That's probably the easiest way to find it if you're trying to find it just through a search. I would recommend you apply now. We do have a wait list for the next academic year. The application that's posted right now is only for the 2022-2023 academic year. So if you're looking for the 2023-2024 academic year, you have to wait till the winter term to apply. There are places to live off campus, and I would recommend you all look at Places for Students. So that's Places, the number 4 students for any off-campus housing. I think that's everything I can get out about on-campus housing. Thank you so much, Megan. Our housing fees, so for our 3-bedroom suite are $3,440 a term. And for our 1-bedroom suite, that's $4,058 per term. Now, those are fees that are due at the same time as all of our other fees are due. So they aren't, it is not a monthly payment, so that doesn't break down into, okay, I pay this much in September, this much in October. Campus housing fees are all due in one fee lump sum payment during our fee deadline. One of the benefits of this is if you're a student loan student, your student loans can go directly to our to the fees, and you're not having to worry about breaking down those checks into monthly payments. So overall, for a full year, for a 1-bedroom suite, it's $8,116, and for a 3-bedroom suite, it's $6,880. So some of the local amenities, what is great about our campus is we are very close to the town, but we're on the outside of it. So there is a paved walking trail for those folks who do not have vehicles or will not have vehicles that goes straight to the grocery store, to the banks, accommodations to some of the residential areas, the civic center, which includes a gym, arena, pool, and pharmacies. There are tons of outdoor recreation, including the swimming, tennis, golfing, hiking. There's so many walking trails. There's beautiful hiking trails. So if you do have the ability to be a little mobile, there's lots of very close trails, a few ones that lead to waterfalls, if that's something that you like to adventure with, and great opportunities to go sailing and kayaking on our campus, around our campus. It's a plethora of festivals and signature cultural events, with our campus being maybe 15-minute walk if you're a moderate paced to slow paced walker from the Civic Center. You're able to go and go to concerts or hockey games. There's always something going on in Port Hawkesbury, and the Student Association also puts on events either on campus or at the Civic Center, and it's both a walk or a drive away. So.
Excellent. Now, either Kaylee or Pam, We do have a question about transportation into, they're saying the city. So I'm not sure if that's Port Hawkesbury or the city of Halifax. Is there ever any organized transportation either through the town or through the college to get into Halifax or into the core of Hawkesbury?
We do have the Strait area transit that does pick up and drop off in Port Hawkesbury, Bedeck, Waikagama, and I believe St. Peter's. So the Strait transit does come to the Strait campus. It drops off students and we'll pick them up. So we do have that. As for buses, we don't really have buses. We just have the Strait area transit.
That's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Pam. Now, what about activities? Does the Student Association or does anyone within the campus housing organize activities for students? Now, I know for myself, being on campus a fair bit, there's always something going on. But Kaylee or Pam, are you able to speak to any activities that occur on campus?
Yeah, so our Student Association, or SA, is very active on campus. For folks, that's an opportunity for you to volunteer, to get involved, and help lead those activities. They did everything from trying to organize a ski trip, to doing a breakfast program, to doing an open skate weekly. So they're very involved on campus and getting people out and about. Our on-campus housing building has our CAs that do events for campus housing and broader. So for example, over the Halloween period of time, they did Scare Away Hunger. So the Student Association and CAs, community assistants, partnered together to do a food drive. So they went door to door with looking for food donations, and we donated quite a bit to the local food bank through that. So there's always something going on, and if you're interested in planning or hosting an activity and you want to get involved, the Student Association is constantly looking for great volunteers or great people to be on their executive committee. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Kaylee, I think this is another question for you. So I know you talked about how there are kitchens. Someone's asking whether or not there are hours for those kitchens, if they have to rent out that space, and are there limitations on what they can cook or how much they can cook?
So that is, you do not have to rent out the kitchen space. It is part of your suite in which you would have, and there is not limitations on how much you would cook. You do, if you are in a 3-bedroom suite, you may want to work out with your roommates about how much fridge space you're each using. But if you wanted to cook at 8 a.m. and then another time at 11 p.m., it is your shared common space that you have with the 3-bedroom suite, and you don't have to book it out at all. So no.
Excellent, I think that answers the question. Another question, holy smokes, everyone is so active asking questions today, which is great. So either for Pam or Kaylee, I think you both can probably speak to this, but supports for students, whether or not they're living on campus or off, are there various supports for students? This individual is asking specifically about counseling. So I'm not sure whether that's career counseling, personal counseling, academic counseling, but if either of you can speak to that, that would be great.
We have a few. I'm going to talk first, Pam, and then I'll give it to you. We have a few really great folks who do counseling on campus. So we do have counselors that you can book appointments with. We also have our accessibility, our testing center, and our advisors. And that's where I'll let Pam talk a little bit more, because Pamela is one of the advisors on campus. But we do have lots of resources for students, including counseling services. There's also, as an NSCC student, lots of online services that you are also given access to as part of being a student on campus or off campus at NSCC, that you will be able to use in addition to the in-person on-campus supports like Pam and all of the other wonderful resources that we have. So Pam, want to talk a little bit about advisors, testing services, etc.?
Sure. So there are 2 advisors at our Strait campus. There's me, so I'm the advisor for trades, technology, and also Indigenous supports. We also have Nicole McKenzie, who is the other advisor, and she's for health and human services, business, and marine. If you'd like to see a counselor, please come see us at Student Services. We do have counseling available, like Kaylee said, and she's very flexible, whether you want to meet her in person or online. We also have our campus elder, Judy, who offers smudging and also a listening ear. We also have, online services as well.
Excellent, thank you both. I'm not sure if this is referring to living on campus, but the question is it okay to come and go at any time as much as we want on campus during the weekend? So that may refer to living on campus or just the campus hours to go in and out of the buildings. And then on top of that, or can invite friends for a night.
Yeah, so for if you live off campus, the on-campus building has specific hours of access. Those are extended for on-campus students because there is no common space for the entire building to gather. So on-campus students have a little bit of more extended access to the main campus building, but that access isn't extended to the entire building. So on-campus students have the ability to access the Kaylee room, not my name Kaylee, but the Gaelic word Kaylee, the Kaylee lounge, the fitness room, and the ping pong area on the weekends and evenings for a little bit longer than off-campus students can access. And that relates back to the regard for wellness that we have for the students that live on campus and the ability for them to gather in groups safely. You are able to go to, if you do live on campus, you are able to go to and from as you please. You will get a fob, and I wish I had one to show. I don't have one on me right now. You'll get a fob, and that gives you access to your space and access to the building. The building is a secured access building. Now, you are allowed to have guests. For overnight guests, they do have to be approved through the guest form, and you're only able to have guests for a maximum of 3 nights to a total of 9 nights total a month. So we have a very clearly written guest policy within our living on campus guide, which can be found on our website. I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, I don't see any follow-up, so I think that was quite thorough. I'm going to close this, just progress the slides, and as questions come in, we can certainly pause. But I've also just put a slide in regard to tuition, program costs, and fees to give folks a better understanding of the full cost of your year. Of course, this is reflective of the current academic school year, so 2021-2022. So for domestic students in our certificate diploma and advanced diploma programs, the cost of tuition for this school year was $3,620, and for international students, that was $11,690. Now, this cost does not include, when we're looking at tuition program costs and fees, this does not include on-campus housing. So that would, of course, be extra. Similar to off-campus housing, these costs do not reflect that either. But as Kaylee was mentioning, if you are receiving a student loan, that student loan can go directly to NSCC. You do just have to let us know. But we do have over $2 million in the form of scholarships, bursaries, and awards that can help you afford the cost of your NSCC education, which is great. Now, as far as staying connected, so if you do have questions after this session, I just noticed that I don't see as many questions coming in, so I'll start to kind of wrap things up. But staying connected, of course, at the beginning of this session, there was the recruitment email that I provided you with, and I'll put that in the chat as well. But more questions, you can send them to recruitment@nscc.ca. But following our social media channels as well. So we like to keep folks as up to date as possible. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are all really fantastic places where you can find more information about our programs, about housing, etc. Oh my goodness, so another question for you. I think this is for you, Kaylee. But can someone stay a little longer in residence? I'm going to assume that's outside of their academic year.
Yeah, so so we do have spring and summer stays. So if you're on a work placement because you're a business student doing a co-op, you do have the ability to stay on campus for the summer. You would contact me to arrange that. So we do extended stays to support student success throughout the summer. So I'm assuming that that's what the question was. If the question was a follow-up related to guests, any stay longer than 3 nights or for 9 consecutive days would have to be receive special approval from the coordinator of campus housing, which would be myself. So.
Perfect. I'm happy you flagged that. I wasn't too sure if it was staying on campus or staying, extending their stay, I guess, within there. Okay, so I am not seeing anything. Ooh, we do have another question coming in. Oh, okay, so this is not about housing, but adult learning program. So the adult learning program, we have a question about the $0 tuition. So the adult learning program is where students can earn their adult high school diploma, their Nova Scotia adult high school diploma. So that is completely funded. There is no cost for tuition. There may be additional costs associated with that program in regard to textbooks, supplies, etc. But we do try to keep those costs quite affordable for students, of course. Students in that program would also be able to apply for scholarships, bursaries, awards, etc. But yes, there is no tuition associated with the cost of that program. We do have, now I'm not sure if either of you would be able to speak to this, but jobs either on campus or off for students who are studying.
So we do have a variety of jobs available on campus. There is a student job portal, which I would recommend you folks take a look at through our NSCC website. One of those jobs is summer conference assistant or our academic term community assistant, which is our folks that live on campus and support and do peer support. At this time, those jobs aren't posted because they've all been filled for the next year. However, there are plenty of job opportunities in town of Port Hawkesbury that are just a short walk from campus that are available, and there are constantly folks looking for students to have good part-time employment. So, yeah.
Perfect, thank you. It's like as soon as I think there are no questions coming in, there's a flood of questions. So we'll stay for a little bit longer. Pamela and Kaylee, do you have anything else to add about the Strait Area campus?
I just want to add that if you are a strong student, we are always looking for tutors, peer tutors. So if you think and you want to earn some money, and if you'd like to help out, just go to the testing center. We're always looking for tutors.
That's a really great point. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, tutors are always needed. Students always need additional support, and having that peer tutor is important and is a great way to earn money as a student, but also an affordable option for a little bit of support in your studies for students as well. Kaylee, do you have anything to add before we close things off?
If folks do have questions about campus housing or other questions, they can contact me through my email related to campus housing questions. And I'd be more than happy to provide any further details about campus housing that they might not have been able to ask or might think of when they're reviewing what they've been told already. So they do have questions about campus housing, myself or campushousing@nscc.ca are good emails to send those questions to, as well as the recruitment.
Perfect, awesome, thank you. So I'm going to end things there for folks. Thank you so much, Kaylee and Pamela, for being part of this session and for co-hosting and for sharing all of your information. And thank you to all of our attendees for taking time out of your day to listen in and to ask amazing questions, really. I think everyone benefited from them. We do have more webinars that are going to be hosted throughout the coming weeks. So if you are interested in those, you can register the same way. And again, if you do have any other questions, feel free to send us an email. I'll end things there, but thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you again next time. Bye for now.